And hello, everyone. Welcome, yay, to the Rise and Grind show. Um, it's very nice to see you here. It is Friday. It is a fabulous weekend coming up for me. We have the Women Talk Africa Classics happening in Edmonton. This is going to be so amazing. I am super excited. And today we are going to talk about workshops. How do you host a workshop? What do you do when you host a workshop? How do you fill the room when you host a workshop? And I have two fabulous ladies, one whom I've hosted a workshop with and one who I am about to host a workshop with. So let me bring them on board. First is our national corporate sponsor, Nancy Seeger. Hello, Nancy.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Good. And the next one we're going to bring on board is Dana. And Dana is a Women Talk member. Hello, Dana. How are you?
Hello, good.
Good.
Nice, awake and bright and early. So yay, I'm here.
And it's not snowing.
Yeah.
Nancy,
So far.
I know. Nancy, are you excited about Edmonton?
It's going to be so fantastic. Although I have to admit, we're leaving early Saturday morning and the event Saturday night. I don't know if I can contain myself all that time.
Oh, well, you can have a nap.
Oh, you don't know me, Bridget. That's not going to happen.
I know, and it was funny. Last night we had our event in Strathmore, and I was asking everybody, like, what does a person wear at an African? Because they're all going to be like totally decked out in their great outfits. And I was telling Nancy, and I was saying that last night, like, I don't know. I was thinking maybe I should wear like a hockey jersey.
That would be great. I totally think you should wear that now.
Wouldn't it be funny?
I want to see that. I want to see you in a hockey jersey.
Because that's Canadian traditional, right?
Exactly. So I think I'm going to bring it just for photo op, if nothing else, because that's going to be funny. Hello, Michelle, and hello, Rhonda. Hey, you guys, what do you think I should be wearing? What should Nancy and I be wearing at the Women Talk Classic Africa this weekend? Because I was like, really? And these ladies are so incredible, so much fun. So let's talk about hosting a workshop. Nancy, you've hosted many workshops, so maybe we'll start with you. Tell me your steps. What's the first thing you do, and then your process, and then I'll do the same with Dana, and then I'll go as well, just to kind of help people on what they should do when they host a workshop.
So, I mean, the first thing is always finding out what are the real questions from your audience, right? What are they? Because we all know our material really well, but what are they looking for? Because it's really hard to know what's the right fit for a workshop. So I always survey the people that I'm connected with and the people that I'm going to do the workshop for, and just see, okay, if I were to teach you about how to adjust your business model to grow, to make more revenue next year, what would be the top 3 questions? And then from there, I build my content out. And I also always start my workshop by getting a feel for the room with a similar question, simply because, the people who you talk to up front, they may not be the people that show up in the room. And you have to be able to kind of adapt on the fly and talk to where your audience is at. But it's really important to deliver value. I mean, I spend a lot of time building these out. It is really about what are the 3 take homes that I want people to have, and how can I bring it to their level? So then I map out my content accordingly and I create it. And I usually do, after the first couple of webinars and promotion items, I have a feel for a little bit of what they're looking at, how to fill the room. That all ties into it, is in doing the webinar, doing the promotions, making sure you're getting them on your email list, making sure you've tested all your systems in advance, because you know me and systems, it all has to be in place. And if you have it all in place and you've got all that happening, then it's constantly looking at your registration, looking at what happens, who's coming, how can you keep in touch with them? Because if you're promoting it today and it's in 6 weeks from now, you have to have touch points all along the way to keep them interested. Can they bring a friend? Can they refer somebody? Can they promote you on social media? What can you do to keep filling that room and working towards success? And then make sure you have collateral materials that they can take home that deliver value, because you can only retain about 45 minutes of really good brain stuff before you get overwhelmed. And you have to have that extra take-home material so that they can keep working on it and find a way to keep in touch with them and keep growing it, because that learning process is so different for everybody. And some people need the activities and some people need to hear it more than once. So be prepared for that.
Oh, Bridget, can't hear you.
I hit the button. I have no clue how I touched the button. None. There's weird things going on here today.
Technology today.
I think I got friends with me. Nancy, where's your favorite place to promote workshops?
Oh, always through your community. My list is critical. Your email list is the first place to promote it. To ask somebody to commit to a workshop, they already have to kind of know, like, and trust you. You can promote it on Facebook and you will get new audiences, but the majority of people who attend through a public place like that are because they've either heard about you before, they know you, or somebody else that you know is going, or that they know is going to the event, right?
Cool.
It's all about community.
Dana, what is your process when you decide to host a workshop? How does that happen for you?
I'm laughing because it's much different than Nancy's process.
Well, and you know why?
I'm enjoying hearing Nancy's process and hearing, oh yes, there are many things I could be doing in that process. My process is nothing like that.
But that's good, right? Because that's what we want, is different ways of looking at this.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, it begins with an idea. So something will end up being, it's an inspired idea, and I'll see, oh, I need to do this, or this is something I can do with my community. This is something that I think will help people move through an experience. So for me, it's often experience based. There's something that, I'm wanting them to shift or go through or heal. And then I sit down and I look at the calendar and I consider when might be a good time for the workshop. And with that, I do the main, like the phases of the moon in consideration with that. I'm not an astrologer, but that is definitely something that has felt really important for me in the work that I do. And it's part of what we're even going to do in that workshop that I'm going to do with you, Bridget, is going over that. And I love what you said, Nancy, about like having that material, because I've so learned that over the years also. Even if though my workshops are a lot experience based with some art and going through these different processes, it's still so relevant to have the material for them to take and process later, because you cannot, like you said, you can only really root and ground so much information at one time. So I know for me, like I even have the whole like 100-page book that goes with the moon magic one, like, so it's
100-page, you give that out?
Yeah, we give that out because it has the calendar though too. I created like a calendar so people could actually
hold on. I'm going to put you full screen here. Let's look at this thing. Oh, look at that.
Right. So you could see the signs, and then it shows you how to kind of use that and what it actually means in your business. So what each sign would mean and what day that would be. Like we're doing the workshop. The one we're doing, Bridget, is in on a Cancer. The moon is in the sign of Cancer. And so what I really loved about that is Cancer is like home-based and family gatherings. And so it'll probably have this really great family feel around it, and like family and friends gathering, which felt so apropos when I was thinking about you and how you have this whole community around you, and you just gather these people that feel like family and friends. Just, it's so warm. So I was like, oh, that's going to be a lovely workshop.
Well, tell them about the workshop. I had made a post earlier, but something happened and it got erased. So I will go post our event in the comments below. But we are hosting a workshop. There's only room for
7.
7 or 8.
Yeah. Well, 8. Yes. Yeah. There's room for 8.
So there's only room for 8 people. So tell us about the workshop. What is it going to be?
So it'll be a full day from 10 until 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over the phases of the moon. We're going to find your personal moon sign, your personal moon phase, what that means to you in your business specifically. So we're always going to keep bringing it back to business, because I think this stuff can be really effective and helpful in our businesses, right? Just bringing that other emotional, spiritual element to planning it. Right. And because we're doing it so close to the spring equinox, I think it's fantastic and so helpful, because so much of this, you want to think about the seeds of intention you want to plant in the spring. And you want to think of it in terms of, what do I want to reap in the fall? So what results do I want to experience in the fall? So we'll be planning and thinking about that as we move through all of the content for the day. And we're also going to create a painting with the moon signs, and then it'll hold a moon in the middle with our vision for the fall, for what we want to actually, manifest and create in our business.
That sounds so fabulous. I can't wait till we do the workshop. It's going to be great. So for me, when I do workshops, I love joint ventures, because I think when you host a workshop, if you're able to hook up with somebody else, to me, it makes the workshop so much more interesting, because it brings different people, different ideas. And, I have a large following. So, and my membership, I have so many amazing women. So for me, it's kind of like, oh, I get to showcase these women. But I think one of the important things to remember if you're going to host a workshop is get excited about it. Like if you just present it to people, yeah, I'm hosting a workshop. There's 500 other workshops happening that day. So you need to stand out. You need to get people excited about it. And you need to really show them what they're going to get and why they should come, and do live Facebook, do some funky posts with great pictures, send out emails, Nancy, and reminder emails. And then if the numbers are not showing, then you don't lower your price, but you can give out coupons. Right? So handouts say, okay, today we're taking, $20 off. Tell your friends, or come, or, just really, and you have to keep at it like there's no tomorrow, because if you just share it once, unless you're like Tony Robbins, which, he just puts the word out and thousands of people come running, it's hard. It is hard to put bums in the seat. And that's why I believe that doing joint ventures is so great, because you just bring in so many more people. So for me, the first thing I do is we come up with an idea for a workshop, and then we create the graphics, we create the Facebook event, we create the website page, then we create email lists that Nancy puts together for me, which is amazing. And then we schedule some live Facebook to talk about it. We talk about it at other events, and you have to invite people to your Facebook event. You can't just have a Facebook event. Learn how to invite people to your event, and then you post your event in other groups, because there's many groups like Calgary events or Bragg Creek events. I'm sure every city and towns have event groups. So you go on there and share your events in their groups. So now you're tapping into a whole pile of people. Because here's the really cool thing about groups is that when you are part of a group and you post in the group, everybody sees it. So it's extremely powerful. If you just post it in your page, 3 people see it out of my 5,000. So very important to use groups. And even now for myself, when I host events like my convention, I actually create a group that everybody attending the event is part of the group. And then you can start the discussion going about what's going to happen at the event and get them excited. or the workshop. So that's sort of my process. And I think I get excited about it.
I think you get excited about breakfast, Bridget.
I have a shake, coffee in it. What's your favorite part of hosting workshops? Let's start with Dana.
Oh, I think first of what I want to say is one of the things you mentioned about having to mention it more than once. That is something I had to learn to be comfortable with, because it was uncomfortable. And I think just like really think that, you're going.
Oh, you're back. You froze there for a second. Yeah. So to mention it more than once.
Yeah, well, and that can be so uncomfortable, right? Like it sometimes feels difficult to get past that discomfort of, oh, like I'm saying it too many times, or I'm being annoying, or whatever it is your thoughts are around that. So I know for me, that was something I had to get over for sure.
So let me share something with you that I believe for every single person that you think is annoyed because you've said it too many times, there are hundreds that will go, what? I didn't know that was going on. And I'm like, how can you not know? Oh my God, it's everywhere. I feel like I'm a spammer.
Yeah.
For Women Talk, we used to send an email for each city because I would tag people per city. But then what happened is people were going to more than one city. So they were getting emails after emails. And I just felt awful and I got to control this. So I decided to do one email a week. Now, some people are quite happy with that. But I've been receiving emails. I didn't know the event was going on. Like, I used to get emails from you. I'm like, well, you are. You're just getting one a week now. But it's you just have to let it go. There will be people that will say, like, that's annoying, but they're rare. And just tell yourself, for every one person that says, I see it too much, or thinks that they see it too much, there are hundreds that won't have a clue what the hell's going on.
So true. So true. You're actually doing them a service by actually helping them be informed, which I think is so nice.
Can I have that sign? So my kids are home today, and I told them you cannot be on the internet while we do the show. So this is what I just received.
It would be 20 minutes.
I have gotten my countdown. I said 20 minutes, so we're counting. It's 9:21. Too funny. Nancy, what do you love about hosting workshops?
I think the biggest thing for me is, and this ties into Dana's comment about experiential, I love seeing the transformation. Like we just did our list building workshop a few weeks ago, and there was a few ladies there that it was like, for the whole room, get so much value when one person gets a tiny transformation, and seeing that transformation happen in a real life setting, that to me is the biggest value out of doing a workshop. When you have 2 or 3 people that do it in a day, it's just unbelievable. That just puts me on a high for like a month afterwards to see that.
Yeah, we just did the Sacred Gifts workshop. I can't remember how many people we had in, like 60 or something like that. And it was so fabulous. It's so cool. And especially when it's a workshop, the first time you host your workshop, be kind to yourself. You're going to be tweaking things. It takes a few times, but you eventually get it nailed down like Monique McDonald has. Like every single detail thing is worked out and has been done many times. And it's like a well-oiled machine. No, I'm not there yet. I don't know if I'll ever be. Okay, I do have a question. Michelle Post wrote, this is what we should be wearing, I think. The Dashiki SB. Do you guys know what the heck that means? Because I don't. You're going to have to help us. I don't know what that is. I'm thinking maybe some kind of belly dancing outfit, which I'm not going to be wearing.
Oh, come on. We could borrow them from Michelle. We could go up there. Right under our hockey jerseys.
Yeah, right underneath the hockey jersey. So, Michelle, you'll have to let us know what that is. Okay, before we go, if you had one word of advice for anybody wanting to Oh, Michelle is laughing at us now. She knows what the heck she's talking about. So if you had one word of advice for somebody that's thinking of doing a workshop to help their business, what would it be? Let's start with the master guru, Nancy.
The advice would be just do it. Get off your butt and own what you know and start sharing it with the world. Just do it, because you're never going to perfect it. It's never going to get there. But if you don't start, you're not going to make it all the way there. And it will grow your business. It will grow how you approach your business. It'll grow what you learn about yourself as much as what you teach everybody else.
Lovely. What about you, Dana? One word of advice for somebody who's never done one and is thinking of doing it.
I would definitely just sit and think through the whole day, like just vision what it is that you're wanting to see, what you're wanting to experience, and kind of just go through it in your mind and your heart first.
Great. And for me, is do not wait till it's perfect. Mm-hmm. Because there are so many people, it's kind of like going hunting and you're aiming and aiming and aiming and aiming, and you wait till you're going to get the perfect shot and you never pull the damn trigger. Pull the trigger, just do it, and then something will happen. Because if you don't pull the trigger, honest to God, though, there are people out there that are just so worried about not being perfect. Mm-hmm. And it does not need to be perfect to be effective. And you don't know what they don't know. That's my new saying now. I was just speaking at the YWCA, and I was talking about the law of attraction, which I just assumed everybody knew about the law of attraction. And there was a room full of people that had no clue. And I'm like, what? So you don't know what they don't know. So share your knowledge. And even though you think it may be so basic and silly and everybody knows this stuff, they don't.
Mm-hmm. They don't.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining me today, ladies. Have a fabulous weekend. So, Dana, we're going to post in the comment. Like I said, we had the workshop in there. We also have another workshop coming up for Made by Mamas. And that one is cookie baking. So it's a fundraiser for them, but it's also a workshop. So as soon as we're done, I'm going to post the information. And Dana, our workshop is March 16th. And we'll have the
Saturday
information in there right away. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks, ladies. Good to see you. Bye.
See you.
See you soon.